said that if the Knicks match up against the Warriors well, that's a chance for his young team to earn some respect. What is it like being that measuring stick team that other teams look forward to facing?
It's good for us. It's flattering and it's good for us because it gets us ready for the playoffs and gets us ready for everybody's best shot. We see a lot of different schemes, a lot of different strategies, and it does nothing but help us prepare for whatever's next.
Coach, how much have you evolved your offense over the years when you have a player like Steph who every single year just ups the number of threes that he makes?
We have not really evolved that much, really. We, like everybody else, maybe have a few sets that we like with one particular team over another. We've got younger bigs now. We don't have the veteran guys that we had last year with David West and Zaza. So maybe subtle adjustments, but for the most part, we're trying to do the same thing that we've always done, which is play fast and move the ball, share the ball, and we've got so many good players and playmakers that if we just take care of it and move it fast, it's tough for the defense to catch up.
Steve, you have KD, who's obviously his own entity, but it seems like across the league, more and more fours are not just shooting threes, but they're also secondary facilitators for teams as well. Do you think that's becoming almost mandatory, for this offensive explosion?
I don't know if it's mandatory, but having playmaking at multiple spots is a really big deal for us. It's just harder to defend, I think, when the ball can move and then every single guy can make a play. That's tough to defend, and I think it's easier to defend an offense that is overly reliant on one or two players.
You have to look at serious topic, but with the bombs, the mail bombs coming, and you've been critical of Trump, and even somebody like Robert De Niro got one in the mail. I was wondering if you were concerned at all as that news started circulating. And
concerned for myself?
Yes.
Concerned
For yourself.
a little bit, yeah. I think we should all be concerned. No matter who you are, you need to be concerned, not just of the bombs, but just somebody shooting. It's the country we live in these days. Innocent people get killed, and innocent people get shot, and it's a dangerous time to be alive right now.
Did you take any extra security measures when this news was coming up?
Maybe I should.
I mean, even, like I said, even somebody like Robert De Niro got one in the mail.
Yeah, it's really sad, and it kind of speaks to where things are in the political atmosphere these days. But I have not done anything like that.
When you look at the box score every night, you see the scores. I mean, what's your impression of just the explosion this year, just the offensive explosion? And just, do you think teams will be able to maintain these paces for the full season?
I think I don't know if teams can maintain the pace that we've seen so far. I think what we have seen, though, is a result of probably the last decade of the game evolving and changing to a faster, smaller game with more three-point shooting. I mean, we've seen it sort of climb. We've seen the pace and the three-point attempts climb year after year since the early 2000s, I think. But I think more than ever, you're seeing teams, whether it's through their GM or their coach or the owner or the fans, they want to play faster and shoot more. It's an entertaining style. It's fun. The players enjoy it. So I think it's good for the league. We've suddenly become a team that's average in pace and very average. I think we're like 23rd in three-point attempts right now. So yeah, everybody's running and shooting past us right now. So I should be concerned.
How do you adjust, though, just in terms of your ability to overwhelm teams with that pace?
It's still, this game is still about talent, number one, and playing both sides of the ball. I mean, when it comes down to it, and the regular season and the playoffs are like two different sports, So you get to the playoffs, you better be able to make stops. You better be able to defend with a lot of versatility. And so we know what's coming, and we prepare for that all season. I'm really not concerned with what other teams are doing. I'm interested, but I'm not concerned because we just have to do what we do, and we've proven that we can win the championship. We've done it 3 out of the last 4 times. We've got great talent. We have players who are competitive and in their primes. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing, but with an eye on constantly getting a little bit better.
Yeah, Steve, Kevin's really credited your kind of collaboration with him over the past 2 seasons, providing input but also seeking his perspective. How have you seen that develop through this time and what that's done for you?
I think that's generally the way we coach, not just me, but our whole coaching staff. We collaborate with our players. It's a group effort. We frequently ask them for their opinions on things. And I find that to be the best way for us to do our business. I think when you have the talent that we do, it's the biggest thing is can you play hard, can you play together, and whatever the best way to achieve that goal, that's what you have to do. And our style is to do it in a collaboration and get through the bumps in the road that are inevitable and keep moving forward.
When you do see all the threes, it's not just the steps of the work shooting now. You have centers shooting 4 or 5 a night. As a guy who made a shot the way you did, you're kind of wondering when the guys think it's so easy a shot now that everyone shoots it. It used to be, a certain skill player shot it.
Right. Yeah, most teams now have 5, 6, 7 guys shooting threes. And it makes sense. That's why players all around the league are practicing the three-point shot all summer. When I played, there were only, as you mentioned, 3 or 4 guys on each team would practice threes. Most guys wouldn't even step out there to practice. But it's a new league. It's a different league, and so everybody's trying to shoot threes. If you can add it to your arsenal, somebody like Marcus Saul, for example, already an all-star. But a couple of years ago, he started shooting corner threes. It's like, wow, now we got to deal with that too. So it's another weapon. The interesting thing to me is when teams are taking 45 and you watch the tape and you kind of think there are about 16 to 18 bad ones in there. Like, is that the right way to go? But every team's got to do what they think they need to do. And my opinion is always get a good shot every time down the floor. A good shot leads to better floor balance, leads to a better defensive transition, better possible offensive boards. I think the game flows both ways when you take good shots, and I don't believe in just hoisting bad shots just because they're worth more than a two-pointer.
This is a bit of a random question, but what makes Kevin's crossover dribble so unique and so effective?
Well, he's 6'11". You're not supposed to do that at 6'11". And I think the guy who really changed the league was Allen Iverson. Mid-'90s, everybody remembers his famous crossover against MJ at the Spectrum, or whatever the arena was called at that point. In Philadelphia, it was an amazing moment, but the guy with the best crossover at that time was Tim Hardaway, and Tim had a very traditional crossover where the ball it went. There was no carry, there was no bringing your hand under the ball, and Iverson started to really sort of put pressure on the officials, with his move where it was borderline carry, and the players have pushed it now over the last 20 years, and almost everybody's carrying the ball now, so everybody's crossover is better. And when you got a guy like Kevin who can shoot threes and handle the ball and post up, do whatever he wants, with the more lax rules interpretations, forget it. It's almost impossible.
We talk a lot about the efficiency of the three-point shot and athletics and such. Can you also relate, as a specialist yourself, to just the joy of being able to make a three-point shot? It's the kind of action that's kind of like a dunk to impact the precision?
The three being
like an enjoyable act,
one, yeah.
It's kind of like dunking the ball. That's something special to it.
I think so, especially if it comes off of a good possession, when the ball really moves. And you get 3 or 4 or 5 guys touching the ball, and then it swings to an open 3-point shooter. You can hear the fans enjoying that. You can see players enjoying that. So yeah, that's a big part of it as well.
Coach, could you just speak a little bit more about the mindset of this team right now? Obviously, it's a presumably weaker opponent. You're coming off a historic Steph performance, and it's so early in the season. What are you looking from these guys mentally?
I think the challenge coming into the Garden is everybody looks forward to playing here. It's the Mecca. It's an incredible environment. Year in and year out, you know, if you're in the West, you only make one trip here. And it's such a great vibe in the Garden. And so in my 4 years here, this is my 5th trip to the Garden, I don't think we've played one good game, honestly. I don't think we've played well one time. And I feel like it's because we're too excited. We're trying too hard to put on a little bit of a show. And with our team, if we just move the ball and we take care of it and we play fast, the show's going to happen regardless. And that's what I try to remind them over and over again. Take care of the ball. Let the next guy make the play, and there's going to be some spectacular things that happen. But you know, you get out there in front of all the movie stars, and in New York City, everyone wants to make the play on their own, and it leads to some bad possessions and bad rhythm. So that's what my concern is tonight.
Great, thank you. Appreciate that.